today we're going to talk about menopause and what difference does reaching or going through the menopause make to the types of exercise that you should or shouldn't be doing. Well, firstly, there isn't anything you shouldn't be doing. You can really genuinely do anything you want or carry on training in the way that you've always done. And equally, if you are wanting to get into exercise, there is nothing off limits. Now, having said that, one thing that I think that you need to be mindful of as you get older is that chances are, your body's had a bit more of a battering, hasn't it, than it, let's face it, than it had done 20 years ago. You know, years of having babies, of being sat down, for longer, maybe longer periods without actually working out when life's got in the way. So more often than not, I find that women in the late 40s, 50s, 60s, they're feeling it a little bit more on the joints. They might have neck issues, back issues, wrist issues, or even, problems with feet. And that's the only thing that you have to be mindful of when you start exercising in your sort of late 40s and beyond, because you have to make sure that you pay really careful attention to doing exercises perfectly. So technique becomes massively important. You can't get away with it when, like you could do years and years ago. You will find if you're not doing exercises correctly that you're going to injure yourself, more easily. So that's the first thing to pay attention to. The second thing to pay attention to is making sure that you've got a balanced program, and that means that you're making sure every muscle in the body is being exercised. If you have got a few sort of aches and pains, chances are they've come from your posture being out of line, and it becomes out of line because you get muscle imbalances. So it's really important to make sure whatever program that you're following is going to tackle every area of your body. And that's why strength training is so good, because you make sure that you hit every part of your body. Running, amazing for you. If you can do it, fantastic, but it's a lower body workout, it's a cardiovascular workout, you're not doing anything structurally to the upper part of the body in any way. So strength training has a big advantage in that you really can tackle everything, every single part of your body, and strengthen up the weak areas, which quite often tend to be the back part of us, our glutes, our hamstrings, our backs. They're the things that tend to become weaker as we age, and that's what we need to focus on. So they're the things that I would focus on. The other thing is stress levels. So as your hormones change, it's important to reduce the amount of stress that you're subject to. And every time you exercise, you are subjecting your body to a form of stress. Good stress, but stress nonetheless. And this is where it can be sensible to, I think some people find, this anecdotally, that going on long runs or lots of cardio where it's, lots of long sessions, they really start to struggle with, and they, don't enjoy it, they're not motivated to do it anymore. And I think part of that can be, or one of the reasons that can be, is that you just instinctively know that it's not right for you, and probably it's to do with the amount of stress that you're putting your body under, and it's at a time of your life where you really need to reduce the stress levels. So if that's something that you found and you're worried about not being able to do as much cardio exercise, because that might be what you relied on for cardiovascular fitness, but also as a fat burner, then a fantastic alternative is to switch into HIIT training. And HIIT training is fantastic because they are shorter, more concentrated sessions, and you don't actually have to do as many a week. You can do one or even just 2 sessions of HIIT a week, and that's going to help you build your cardiovascular fitness, that's going to help you with your fat burning, and it's also going to, your total exercise time is reduced, and that's where you get the win from a stress point of view. Strength training, of course, builds your muscles. That's a massive factor to consider as you're going into the menopause. It's not just about that lovely feeling of being able to run for hours. You've really got to start paying attention to strengthening your muscles, and by strengthening your muscles, you strengthen your bones as well. Because in the 5 years after menopause, we lose, as women, we lose muscles at a faster rate than at any other time in our lives. So there's really a golden opportunity for us to hang on to as much muscle as we can and to really pay attention to building it during that time. So really that's in your 40s and in your 50s. If you're after that, then it's never too late to build muscle. There's been plenty of studies done, even in women as old as 90, to show that when you lift weights, you'll build muscle and build bone strength. So it's never too late, always an opportunity to do that. The only other thing that I will mention, just in terms of stress, dieting, calorie restriction, that's stressful on the body as well. So if you have a few pounds that you want to lose, switching to a more balanced way of eating, which is a better ratio of proteins to carbohydrates, is a good way to naturally lower your calories with less hunger, i.e. less stress, and less cravings, i.e. less stress. So that can be something to think about as well, to just make things a little bit easier on yourself with your sort of health, fitness, weight goals when you get into your 40s, 50s and 60s. So hope it gives you a bit of food for thought there, no pun intended, and just give you some pointers on how you can adapt your sort of health journey in your 40s and beyond. All right, thank you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Bye now.